We got a new project. This is a 1955 Velocette. I'm really excited about this bike. It's been a fun journey. We're gonna show you how we got this thing running and happy again. Went down to pick the bike up at my buddy's shop. Tanner and Lance helped me load this thing up. We strap it into the back of the International and bring this thing home.
All right, we got it. Now, I didn't tie those straps around that headset, so hopefully it doesn't slip to the side.
My buddy Ron has an import auto shop a few blocks away from my house, and he actually saw me driving home with this Velocette in the back. So he followed me back to the barn so he could get a look at the bike, and then he helped us get this thing unloaded. In the back there, you can actually see the little two-stroke Italian Harley that I just finished. I just finished that for my friend Lance so that I had some extra space and a little extra cash that I could work on this Velocette. So then Lance came over and helped me get this bike into my shop.
All right, it's home. It's home. And I am over the moon. So now it begins.
So we just went through that old Italian Harley, but the rules are the same here. You check two things. You check spark and you check fuel. And if those two don't get it going, then you check compression.
Okay guys, it's Sunday afternoon. I'm a little slower because I dropped one of those giant magnets on my toe yesterday and I think it is broken. But we got baby Lee out here as my supervisor. And we're gonna see if we can get the Velocette running and ripping around. All right, so this bike I got from a buddy, and he went through and he cleaned up the points in the magneto system. So I know that this is decent, but he said he never checked on the spark plug, so we're gonna mess with that. He also never messed with anything in the fuel system. This is an old boy and it has hard lines, and I've never seen a petcock system like this. Plus there's one on both sides. So I'm gonna need to figure how to adjust and shut these off. And it has got some real slimy junk going on here. So I'm pretty worried there's some ethanol crap that was in this tank at some point that we're gonna have to address. Additionally, there's a bunch of stuff on this bike I do not understand, and I'm gonna show you. So right up here, you've got a cable that adjusts to this lever. This is unique. This is the crank down here, and this is a cover for some sort of chain that runs up to this, and this is what runs the pulley magneto coil system. So this sets timing for your spark. What the crap is this? I don't know. Look up here. This lever, I don't know if this is choke. You've got a clutch, I think, and then you got a second lever. This second lever is the one that controls this thing. Actually, let me test that. Yeah, it does. Okay. So brake maybe, choke maybe, clutch maybe. Don't know what this is. There's just a lot of interesting cables up here that I've never seen. But we're gonna figure it out. The disassembly begins. Velocette is a really cool company. They are a British motorcycle company similar to BSA, Norton, and Triumph. But Velocette was a little bit different. They didn't have such robust mass production. They focused a little bit more on racing. But now that the tank's off, I can explore all of the electrical, and I can explore the plug and its needs. Yeah. And then I can check the tank, clean the tank. There's also several dents in the tank, one big fat dent in the top, and then there's one dent behind this pad. So I'm gonna see how savable it is. A decision I need to make is if I wanna run this thing really ratty, as is, or if I wanna like
clean it up a bit and do a fixed up tank. I don't know, maybe make some decisions. All right, this is a 55, 15, 20, 70. This is a 70-year-old gas tank. Let's take bets on how yucky the inside is. I just got the cap off, but I needed a flashlight. All right. Oh, that's not bad. Wow, that's not bad at all. I'm gonna do a little clean out, but that's pretty good. All right, now you can see why the petcock is on both sides, because they don't really connect. You've got like double saddle bags here. So each one of these opens the different sides. All right, I wonder if I can get something up inside here to fix. Honestly, that worked pretty well. Okay. Let's see. No. Lee, what do you think? Are we gonna fix this tank? Oh, hope you saw that. It just made progress. Oh yeah, dude. We just got this whole section out right here. Wow. I realized I'm gonna need to make a tool that can reach into the gas tank so that I can pry open that dent. Okay, we added a little point on the end of it. After tweaking on it for a little bit, I realized I'm going to need the assistance of some heat. So I try to heat up the area, and then I grab a hammer and I pound around the edges where it's got a little crimp, and then we start prying. Yes. And then it's just a matter of tweaking. Pry, pound, and we got all of this back flush with the top. And it's not perfect, but it is pretty close. Okay, gas tank is pretty dang good. So now I'm gonna work on this carburetor. See if I can get this carburetor off and get it cleaned up, because it sure seems to have a lot of goop in these fuel lines, and that's not cool. Yeah, that's got some glue in it. That's stupid ethanol. It's like a sugar, and it like just gums stuff up. It's so bad. So then we remove the hard fuel lines, and then we remove the mounting bolts that hold the carburetor onto the intake, and we're ready to clean it. It's kind of nice to step inside because I've got air conditioning in the barn. But let's take a look at this funny carburetor. So this is the fuel bowl, and then I guess it connects here. Super strange, unlike any I've ever seen. So let's see if we can get this thing cleaned. Oh man, cool stuff. Okay, I threw it in the vise and got the job done. So, what the heck? So this is the float, and
Is it stuck? Wonder if it's somehow threaded into that bottom thing. I later learned that the float actually raises to shut off the fuel inlet, and so that is how it's attached at the bottom. We were then able to separate the fuel bowl from the carburetor and clean the jet and put this thing all back together. Okay, this throttle body has got some serious gunk on it, so I'm going to use some 600 grit. So with some brake cleaner and some 600 grit, we got the gunk off that throttle body. Then we got it back into the carb, and then we got that carb bolted back onto the engine so that we can start fussing with some other stuff. All right, so fuel tank been repaired and kind of clean. The carburetor's been fully cleaned. The points and magneto have been cleaned. Now I'm gonna pull the plug and probably replace it because this is a super old plug. Okay, so carb and everything's cleaned. I just got a new spark plug. I threaded it in, but I thought I should probably test it first. So let's watch for spark. Okay. Oh, I saw it. Yep. Okay. Okay. It's back together. Carb cleaned, gas tank cleaned and fixed, new spark plug. Checked for spark, we're good. I just put gas in this. So let's put the cap on, and then I'm gonna open up those little inlets, those goofy little inlets to the fuel. Boom, there's one. Let's open the other just for good measure. Okay. And let's use this little tickler. See if we can get it primed up. I'm a little worried because when I kick-started it, it was dripping fuel, oil out of this. This pulley comes off the crank, and it should have a belt that runs up to a generator, which I don't have. But it was leaking oil out of there, which is not a good sign. But let's see if we can get this thing to start. Through this open air box. And then I'm going to choke it. All right, try again. Oh. Did you hear that? Okay, now let's see if I can take it for a ride. Oh, buddy!